Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another epic game for you. This one is going to be a 4 versus 4 on Lava Flow, which is a map I do not think that I have actually cast any games on this map before. So it should be super awesome. It's basically like Scorched Haven except huge and for 4 people. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the players here. We do have Dibz, the red Terran player. His partners will be Archon, the purple Zerg, and LMntReese, the blue Zerg, and their partner will be LMntJJEnvY. And I just realized I did not say anybody's colors or races, but you can see that down here. So I guess I said the colors or whatever. Anyway, JJ Envoy, JJEnvY. He is the teal Protoss, and their opponents are going to be Select, the pink Terran, and this is FXOpTiKzErO, formerly known on my channel as FXOpTiKzErO, because I'm a complete idiot and can't read words that have capital letters and then lowercase letters and then capital letters and then lowercase letters and then so on and so on and so forth until my mind explodes. And then so their partners will be FXOSloG and FXOmOoNan. So this is a game I've been meaning to cast for a while, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The cheese has begun. There is a pylon up here from Envy, and there's an Overlord here to give the vision, and pretty soon Slog's base is going to be completely screwed. I want to make sure it's not happening here. I can't tell you guys how many times I played 4v4s on this map where both teams have gotten cheesed by cannons right here, and the same thing on the opposite side. So Slog right now is just got to be so pissed. He is like, you have got to be kidding me. And this cannon can actually hit the Nexus from down here, and I never realized that. So that's huge. And that Nexus is going to go down. Slog is screwed. He has completely walled his front, or he wanted to wall off his front here. And he was using a probe to finish that. And Moonan, though, was trying to set up a more conventional wall, and that did not work at all. Zerglings are going to kill this pylon and unpower the gateway. I think they're going to kill this pylon. There it goes. And so now Moonan is totally up against it. Are there any counterattacks coming right now? I don't see any counterattacks. Do you guys? Oh, that's right. I can't hear you guys. I think I figured that out, right? At some point that I cannot hear you guys. Actually, though, that is a debatable topic. Maybe someday, sometime, I will start debating that topic with you. As there are some scientists that believe that time is relative, so to speak. So, and I may be a proponent of that myself. I don't want to get way off topic here. In a 4 versus 4 game that right now it seems like the top team is completely effed in the A, as Cartman would put it. As this Nexus is about to go down, and at the same time, OpTiKzErO up here is actually doing a pretty nice job keeping these Zerglings at bay, doing all he can here. Now he didn't even bother to try and wall off the front, and maybe that's the way to go in these 4v4s, because you can tell what happened to Slog and what happened to Moonan. See, I'm commentating from a perspective of Protoss, because I've been playing a lot of Protoss lately, and looks like finally we're gonna see some counterattacks. The Hellions are out now for Select, and he's going to come into Reese's base and start roasting some drones. There's no defenses here whatsoever except for this queen, and Reese is in big trouble. Archon, though, is trying to get us around on these Hellions. He's losing a decent amount of Zerglings there, and it looks like Slog, meanwhile, is using all his probes to try and take somebody out, and is actually doing a decent job there protecting for that Hellion. The problem was there's only one Hellion there to protect for. And Moonan actually may be able to rebuild. He is going to try to rebuild. Dibz now is up here with a bunch of Marines. And I didn't even realize Dibz is going for mass Marines. He has a 4th barracks on the way. So, it's going to be very difficult to keep up with everything. Here we go. Dibz is a little outmatched in this battle. And oh no! The force fields from FXOpTiKzErO going to trap all of the Marines and they all die. Nice play there from FXOpTiKzErO. And Select now with a bunch of Hellions. He is pumping these Hellions. He's even got his expansion ready here, and I expect to see some blue flame coming out there. He actually is already getting blue flame. Excuse me. He must have done some kind of swap there. But who wants to get distracted looking at somebody's base in a 4v4 that doesn't have any action going on? It looks like Select wants to finish the job here, make sure Reese is no longer part of this game. But Reese doesn't want to have anything to do with it. The problem is too many Hellions. All the Zerglings are going to die. And oh man, they're in a lot of trouble. But look at Dibz at the same time is pressing right into Select space, which is exactly what he needs to do. So while that is going on, Hellions are running away from a queen, chasing down the drones, and at the same time Dibz is taking out the tech lab. Did the blue flame get finished? I don't even know. Did it get finished? Where'd these Hellions go? Tell me, did they all die? Really? I thought they were going to escape, and it looks like the Hellions all died. And if we check Select's units here, he is down to 3 Hellions, and those are all right here. So they did all die, but Select did a good job keeping his team alive, and now FXOpTiKzErO has a pretty sizable army here. Looks like bottom team has some epic sort of plans about how they're going to take out this top team before they can get really back into this game. As it is actually a 4 versus 2 right now. Look at, I didn't even realize this. Envy also took out Moonan's base without me realizing it. There is a battle going on in the middle right here that I totally missed. Sorry you guys. Dibz though trying to shoot and scoot back. The same goes for Envy and SloG. It looks like SloG and FXOpTiKzErO actually may end up losing their entire armies here. Trying to reinforce is FXOpTiKzErO, but it looks like he's going to need to fall back. These Marauders just tearing up the house for Dibz right now, and he's going to try and press the issue. Problem is his army size is pretty low. And here we go. Zealot's going to engage this directly. Envy with the support though. Looks like I just don't think there's enough here to take out this army, and now Select is in here with all these Hellions. Using Hellions on the Stalkers, and Envy's going to look like he's going to try and take out as many Hellions as he can. Immortal now is out for FXOpTiKzErO, and that is really going to put the hurt on the Marauders and Stalkers. So that attack is definitely thwarted at the same time. And at the same time, FXOpTiKzErO has expanded. Select has already expanded, and those Zerglings were not going to do much at all. Probably at this point don't want to be throwing Zerglings into the Terran base that has mass Hellions. But the bottom team still has all 4 players alive and kicking. So it is an FXOpTiKzErO and Select, each with 2 base, versus the bottom team, everyone with 1 base. Though it looks like Dibz is throwing down that expansion. Hellions are going to come in here to harass Reese again, and is he going to be able to do anything? He does have 4 roaches this time now to protect. And Select is going to go right after the drones, and uh-oh, Select's going to get caught in here with his Hellions. He's killing a ton of Zerglings though. Oh man, those Zerglings from Archon. So many Zerglings dying from Archon. The mass Lings has not paid off this game. Select has definitely got the better of that. Blink, it looks like, has finished now for Envy. And bottom team looks like getting a little antsy. They keep wanting to attack, They do have a 2-player advantage right now. Now I'm sure that SloG and Moonan, if we can check, actually SloG is not playing right now. Moonan though, which one is Moonan? It's yellow. Where is the battle? There is a battle here. Moonan is yellow. So Moonan is microing something, and he has no base. So Moonan must have control of somebody's army. And anyway, Select is really starting to beef up. Select's economy has just been in first place for a while now. Here comes the attack. Look at the positioning of these siege tanks. It is so good right there, but nice blink there from Envy. He is going to be able to blink up here and take out these tanks. He may lose all these stalkers in the process. Here comes Dibz in the rear with the Marines and Marauders, and now one siege tank also for Dibz. These Immortals are just deadly right now. Dibz, it looks like it's going to be trying to focus down the Immortals, and now the Stalker's also trying to focus down these Immortals, so both of them will die, but the damage has been done. The Immortals keeping the top team in the game right there, doing tons of damage. So FXOpTiKzErO now has switched into Colossi, and does he have the Thermal Lance? He has just started that upgrade. If we switch the production tab, then you guys don't need me to search every base to figure out what's going on. Trying to snipe this Colossus. It looks like, is this Colossus going to escape? It looks like he will. So nice micro there from FXOpTiKzErO and Select to save that Colossus. Looks like somebody snuck some Zerglings in there. Maybe that was Archon. I'd like to see Archon take another base here at some point and start teching up, because now he's going against a very large size army, and mass Zergling only may not be enough. And now Select is going to be loading up to do some drop harass, and looks like he wants to go directly across into Reese's base here with this medevac, and that is not going to get scouted. And looks like Archon coming up here thinking about finishing off Moonan's base, and then he's over it. He's going to come in and may be able to force the cancel on this Nexus. It looks like he won't though, as these Colossi are just going to roast these Zerglings up before. Can they force the cancel? And the Nexus is going to have to be canceled. And at the same time, Select doing some crazy harassment over here, but he is going to die. He is going to lose that army. And so at least for Archon, that one attack did pay off here. And Dibz getting another expansion, which is a very, very smart idea. Got to try and stay ahead of these guys, as I didn't even realize Reese had this high yield over here, and I don't think Select and them realized that this base is alive and kicking. So pretty soon Reese will be able to do something in this game, because he hasn't done a whole lot except stay alive. But when you're spawned in this position, sometimes that's really what the game comes down to. And so if you're in this position and you could manage to hold on somehow, just stay in the game, the rest of your team will usually be able to pick you up. And so this game really, I mean, I've been sitting here thinking the bottom team has the advantage the entire time, but FXOpTiKzErO and Select are really, really good players. And they have been ahead in expansions this whole time. And so I don't know. It's pretty much anyone's game right now. Army size tab shows that Select and FXOpTiKzErO are pretty much the same as the whole bottom team combined. In army, may even be stronger. So bottom team going to need to push together Dibz though. He has quite a bit of tanks, make it 8 siege tanks. That is going to be key. He's got to siege those up right now, because the Colossi are coming in, and there are 4 of them. And it looks like the Stalker's going to blink in to try and take out some Colossi. They're going to fall back though. Dibz does have a couple of Vikings in here to work on these Colossi with. And so neither team is going to really be able to break this position as long as these siege tanks are here and these Colossi are here. So if the siege tanks unsiege and try and creep forward at the same time, this army will die. So is Dibz going to start trying to creep his siege tanks forward slowly? And it looks like some Vikings are actually going to get picked off by Select's Vikings, and drawing in some unsuspecting Stalkers into siege tank fire. So there's really no way that Dibz can creep forward, so he's going to have to set up this contain here. And he's going to have to keep paying attention to this army, as it looks like FXOpTiKzErO wants to break this, and it looks like he's going to be able to break it, as Select is also coming at the same time, just mowing that army down. Uh-oh. Bottom team in a lot of trouble. Select and FXOpTiKzErO, and oh, look at LMntReese. Had some sneaky roaches here, but he wasn't able to kill any Colossi or anything, because he unburrowed on top of so many units. And here comes the counterattack. This is a very scary ball of tanks and Colossi. And with FXOpTiKzErO microing these right here, and actually, is FXOpTiKzErO the one microing those? No, it is Moonan. Moonan is the one controlling this army right now, excuse me. Meanwhile, FXOpTiKzErO is just going completely balls out macro style, and he is getting a huge economy. So, excuse me there, it is, well, actually, no, it looks like they both are microing them, or maybe it's just the Colossi that Moonan has control of, and FXOpTiKzErO has control of the rest. I don't know. You know, man, everybody's sharing control. I'm not going to be able to keep up with it, but oh! And look at FXOpTiKzErO spreading the Colossi out exactly what he needs to do, but here comes Archon with a bunch of mutas, exactly what the bottom team needs, and he is going to be able to take out all these siege tanks and possibly these Colossi if these Marines do not come back to support, and that is what Select is doing now. He is stimming up these Marines. And coming back in here, there are also Stalkers now to protect. So unfortunately, the mutas were not able to take out too many siege tanks. And so these mutas just have to get in here. Very vulnerable right now to the muta attack. And now Envy's base is in so much trouble. This army is just steamrolling all over the place. I want to make sure I'm not missing a counter attack or anything. But it looks like Archon has meanwhile expanded over here. Maybe he had that before when I was dogging him. So if you did, sorry about that, Archon. Anyway, Envy's base is totally screwed. And it looks like his next base is going to be screwed as well. But Dibz and Archon want to say something about that, and going to set up some siege tanks down here on the ramp and try and contain this army up here, and then use the Vikings to finish off these Colossi. So finally, this army is going to go down. But, I mean, the top team has got to have remacroed a pretty sizable army by now, you would think, right? Select has a pretty sizable army here. But I don't see anything out of FXOpTiKzErO. So I'm wondering, where is that big old army there? He's got only one? Is that only one robotics facility? Am I missing another robo facility here? Let's see here. Do we have 2 robos? We don't. So he's not going to be able to get critical Colossi numbers with just one in this game. And I think Mutalists for Archon have really been harassing here. Actually, these are Reese's Mutalists. So Archon has been helping defend with his mutas, and now getting a lot of those mutas, and that's really going to turn the tide as the mobility of the bottom team is skyrocketing past the top team's mobility. But Dibz looks like wants to set up that contain again, and some tanks are going to be sieging up on the high ground here for Select. A lot of Vikings on the field for Dibz are really putting the hurt on the Colossi. Select, though, it looks like is going to be able to steamroll this ground army with these Marines and with the Stalkers here, but the Vikings were able to kill all the Colossi. And I hear slicing. I hear slicing going on. It looks like Envy has switched to Dark Templars that I did not notice, and is taking out the economy. Nicely done there. Late game Dark Templar switch is always so effective. And there's no detection here for this Dark Templar. He's going to need a scan. He's going to have to build an observer. Here comes the observer. So that Dark Templar is going to go down, but so frustrating for the top team to deal with. At the same time, Zealots have flown in here. It looks like killed Archon's, no, because he just ran all of his drones up to this one, it looks like. And now FXOpTiKzErO with some Dark Templars of his own are going to come in here and start slicing and dicing up some drones big time. These drones are all going to die before anything can happen. And so this game is just really back and forth. It's still anybody's game right now, I've got to say. It's still anybody's game. Map control definitely belongs to the bottom team, as the Zerg players do have these high yield expansions. But aside from that, there's really no clear-cut advantage. And Select, though, is going to come around down here and start cleaning up these bases from Archon. Actually, these Dark Templars are already doing the job. Looks like Dibz wants to try and help defend that, but at this point, both of those hatcheries are dead. So he is going to abandon that strategy and fall back. Select, meanwhile, has set up the planetary fortress at this high yield. And keep in mind, there are still 2 bases up here. It looks like, okay, Select did take this base at one point, and it looks like he actually did quite a bit of mining out here, and before Mutalists did get in there and take that out. So sorry about that, you guys, I missed that. I keep seeing these yellow buildings and green buildings. I'm like, oh, somebody's attacking. No, that is just me tripping out. I am sorry. Like, maybe I'm nervous now that I'm just gonna miss all the engagements. And I'm not sure what this positioning is all about for Select. He sort of sieged up there, maybe thinking there was going to be a ground assault where there wasn't. And look at Envy. Why do I keep wanting to call him Envoy? I'm sorry, Envy. I don't know why I keep saying that, but maybe it's because of the capital letter thing. I'm telling you guys, this capital letters and lowercase letters back and forth. Man, I don't, at least with Select's name, it is like the last two letters, so it's not like back and forth, back and forth. Maybe it's just a pet peeve of mine, I don't know. But everybody does it, so it's not really like there's much I can say at this point about it. This is a pretty scary army right here, though I think Dibz has a similar sized army. He even has a Raven out here to deal with these DTs all over the place. And Select, though, is going to completely obliterate this base, and at the same time over here FXOpTiKzErO is going to be pressing down the right side with a bunch of stalkers, zealots, and sentries. And oh crap, the bottom team is in a lot of trouble now. Dibz is scrambling. He's got so many SCVs stuck on this mineral patch. They are all going to die. He's completely out of position, trying to deal with Select's push from the left side. Mutalisks are trying to come around the back and clean up the tanks, but the Marines, look at the Marines from Select running around to defend the tanks and holding the line. So all the while, Select maintaining position on the left side. FXOpTiKzErO is pushing into Dibz's base, and oh man, the bottom team looks like they are totally screwed all of a sudden when I thought they were way ahead. Where did the mass of Mutalisks go from Archon? They're on their way back. It looks like they took quite a bit of casualties from up there, and all of a sudden the tables have turned. Dibz's base is on fire, and there is a Dark Templar here from Envy. Looks like it is going to be able to kill some of these tanks. And could there be a scan? It doesn't look like a Select is just going to be content to pull back, but already Dibz's base has been in big trouble. Here comes the mass Mutas trying to engage this army directly, and that is not going to work. There are just too many stalkers fully upgraded here weapons-wise. They have 3 attack and just ripping through all of these Mutas. The siege tanks coming in here far too late, and Reese with the great call there. Yeah, it's the real guys, because the two of these guys, FXOpTiKzErO and Select, just came back from Oblivion to win this game. I did not see this coming at all, and I will honestly confess to you guys right now that I had to recast the ending of this game. If you didn't notice, there was a spot where maybe my voice sounds a little different. It's because I'm cutting and pasting into the end of this game, because I completely missed this battle down here by FXOpTiKzErO. So this time I decided I will go ahead and fix up. I'm going to doctor this video up, showing that battle there. Just amazing comeback by Select and FXOpTiKzErO in this game, and obviously Moonan should get some credit as well, since he was microing during a lot of those engagements. So wow, that was a really exciting game, and thank you Dibz for sending me that game, and I'm totally shocked right now at the outcome. So that's gonna do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.